this is Lisa from Life in Layouts, and today I have the October monthly celebration. I am so excited that we are getting close to the end of the year, and we are in talks of what we're going to do next year. So I'm really excited to be a part of this team, and I want to encourage you to check out all of the ladies below and all of their exciting layouts that they're going to create for you guys in the month of October. I am using this paper pad from Echo Park, and I think it's such a cute Halloween paper pad. So I will try to link it below if I can find it on scrapbook.com. But the most exciting thing about this layout is I'm able to get 14 photos on this layout, and I'm just so impressed by that. I pull out the photos here and I'm trying to figure out how to configure it. I did not use a sketch because this is one that I really wanted the photos to stand out and be the focal point. The way that I thought I could do that was by doing a grid style layout. This layout obviously is about the boys building a Halloween gingerbread house. It was a blast. It looked horrible at the end. And so what I did was I took pictures of each side of it. It doesn't even look like a house. They were so proud of the gingerbread house, even though it was not the best looking house. I do use the Dusty Concord to distress all of the edges, so it brings that purple into all of the edges. And really, I just start building my grid design. I put 6 of the photos that are 3x4 in a grid on that purple paper. Once I lay that down, I'm going to take that orange plaid paper that I had cut into strips and put that on top and bottom of the purple chevron paper. And then you'll notice on the left-hand side of the layout right now, I have that blue paper that has the costumes on it. That's going to go on the left side of the grid of photos. And I just smile every time I look at these photos. The boys were more interested in eating the icing and the other pieces that came with the gingerbread house, that they have it all over their face. And that is just hilarious, especially since it's black and purple and orange, so they look very silly. On the right hand side of the layout, I decide to create another grid, and this one's a little bit more complicated because not all my photos are the same size or the same orientation. I have those 5 photos that are 2x2, and that is just each side of the gingerbread house. And then I have the 3 photos that were actually 3x4 and one photo that was a 4x3. After I figure out a configuration as to what I think may work, I go ahead and put that orange plaid strip down because that's going to be what I use to configure in this grid on the right hand side of the layout. After I get all of the strips together, I just start laying out the photos and putting them down. And what I decide to do is there is some space at the very top of these 2x2 photos, as well as on the left hand side next to where I'm putting the adhesive right now. And then I am also missing a 2x2 photo there. I found this banner piece, which I thought was perfect to bring in all of the colors and tie all the colors together, because it brings all the colors in from this paper pad. And I use this 4x6 cut apart card just to get this polka dot paper down. It's like polka dots, but the polka dots are look like bubbles, and there's skulls in it, and just all kinds of fun Halloween stuff. I add that next to the pictures with all of the gingerbread house, and then I thought this eek, the EEK, was perfect because when you look at those photos, it's kind of like, I don't know what to think about it. I go ahead and cut down this green paper to finish out my grid style within the photos, and then I'll cut out an orange striped paper for that top piece up there, right above the photo. I do decide to put the green also below the banner there. So once I measure it all out, I will lift the banner up just a little bit and add that green piece underneath it. Once I get all of that down, then I'm going to add the orange striped paper up there above that photo. I again use that very special technique of my thumbnail to mark things and then cut it out. That piece was actually really tiny. It ended up being like 1/4 of an inch big, and it's really small when it comes to that, how long it is. It was kind of difficult to cut out. So now I have the base of my layout done, and I don't do a lot of embellishment on this layout simply because there's so many photos and I really want the photos to be the focal point. Down this green strip, I do add 3 pumpkins, and all of the pumpkins are up on fun foam. I have an orange, a teal one, and then a gray one, and that little gray one has a little sad face on it. And I did leave this in just to show you guys how I use my fun foam. Sometimes I'll just put it on the back of my sticker and then cut around it so that it really does fill in all of the pieces. I did a small cluster up there next to the banner. That little tag says "So Fun," and then I'm going to add a candy corn and also a blue circle that has a star in it. After I get that cluster done, I decide that I need something on the far left-hand side of the layout. I pull out the cut-apart cards and I find this orange one that says Double Trouble, Toll and Trouble. No, Double, Toll and Trouble. Ooh, that's a mouthful. I thought that worked perfectly for this layout since there were 2 boys. So we got the double going on. And what they made was definitely a trouble piece. Put that up on fun foam and add it right next to the photos on the left, and that is going to be the title of this layout. I used this 3x4 journaling card, and I go ahead and cut it down, and I use that same distress ink. Not only did I distress the edges of it, but I also went over the top of it. It muted the white a little bit. It's not something that you can see really well. It's just not so stark white. Once I get my journaling done, I will run over it again because I cut off a little bit of the bottom there where I wrote the year. It just seemed a little too big. So go ahead and cut it off, and then I use my corner chomper in the tag piece to cut it down. And then that's where you can see I just run the foam pad over it, and it gives it a little bit of purple tint to it. So that is it for me. Here is my final layout as well as some close-ups. I want to encourage you to check out all of the ladies down below. I will have their links. Go and give them some love because I am sure that they are going to create amazing layouts. I also wanted to ask you guys if you have any ideas for our next year's monthly layouts. This year we did a celebration, and we're trying to come up with other ideas as to what we can do on a monthly basis. If you have any ideas or tips or anything that you want to share with us, we will greatly appreciate those. and maybe we will actually complete your idea next year. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope that you have a scrappy day.